Morning everyone. Today I've got a little bit to do in the sugar house and then probably work on some firewood this afternoon. I've got to make some deliveries, but before I do that I have to make some cotton candy to take on that delivery. So I've got another 53-gallon whiskey barrel that I need to get filled today. We're a little behind on that, but we're more behind on firewood, so kind of got to get going on that first. But while I'm letting the syrup heat up, I'm going to be able to get some work done in the sugar house. It's going to get us ready for the horsepower additions this fall. So let's get this done. Now, once the bottom of that pan gets covered up, then I'll light the fire, but I gotta make sure that it's all covered up first, so it's just about there. So this will probably take, I don't know, 40 minutes to heat up. I'm not gonna filter it today. Today, I'm just gonna take it, heat it up, and run it right in the whiskey barrel. In the past, I've filtered it, but I'm a little behind on time, and we have to reboil it and filter it at the second time when we bottle it anyways. So I'm just gonna run it like this today. I think it'll be all right. Now, the canner holds about 15 gallons total. You can get 18 in water line, but you can't stir nothing in or nothing like that. So I'll run 4 of these, and that should be enough to fill this up with some extra. What I'll do with that is I'll just take and I'll pump that extra back into the barrel. I've got a bottle syrup out of a different barrel, but I can't do that because I'm waiting for my glass to come in. I think it's going to be here in a week or two, so that barrel of syrup will be fine. Now that it's not hot packed, that it's been open, because it's only going to be a week or two. In the sugar house, it's been staying fairly cool, but it does warm up a little bit. But in a couple weeks, it won't go bad. But this is almost full, and then we can go get some other stuff done. Like always, I leave the barrel over the finishing rig. What that does is the heat that comes off this will heat that syrup up, which helps it kind of get every little last bit of syrup out. There's none sticking to the sides because it warms it up. It doesn't get super warm, but it's enough that every little bit helps. Plus, while you're heating it up, the syrup gets warmer, less propane I have to use. This morning while I'm waiting for that syrup to warm up, I'm gonna start getting this old hood system down. This was a design that I took from my friend's sugar house in Vermont. He had used this over his. He didn't have the little drip tray under it. Mine, I cut some PVC in half, made an 1.5-inch drip channel that goes around. Actually, I guess it's 2-inch drip channel that goes around, and that would let the steam that would condensate on the plastic roll down, would go in, and then there's a drain back in the corner. But now, as you guys know, we're putting steam hoods on in a preheater. So this has got to come out. So while I'm letting that syrup warm up, I can get this stuff tore out today. The plastic came out pretty easy. That was just held in by a few staples, kind of kept it in place. Every year I'd have to go up and move it a little bit, kind of reposition it. Some of the staples would tear out, that type of thing. It's been replaced twice. I think that's the second round of plastic I've had in there, but it doesn't take a lot for it to come out. Now it's just the PVC drip channel that's around. Back here, I'm gonna take and I'm just gonna cut this off for now and leave it out a little ways. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do there, and it goes through the wall. So if I have to, I can just take down a few pieces of board and plug that whole hole up. But at the same time, I'm putting a bigger head tank out back on the sugar house this year. So I may get into that spot and have to take it down anyway, so why do it twice? And then I just have to take down the boards, and I just gotta go get Phillips head bit, and I think it's one of the green Torx. So I'll go get my screw gun and we'll get this down. I'm gonna come in and check my temperature, see where I'm at. Just shy of 170. So I've got a couple minutes there before that's ready, but I got most of this old steam hood down that I had made, my homemade one, except for one piece. There's a piece of roofing there that I used, as well as some boards that went up the side, and that was kind of to deflect the heat and keep the steam moving at the same time. But I don't know if I'm gonna take that down. I haven't decided yet, so I may let that sit for a little while because it does keep the heat off that stack because we run pretty hot. So I got to see what I'm going to do with steam. before I take that thing down. But now I just gotta pick up this mess. Almost to 180 right now. I think what I'm gonna try and do is I just use one of my hose, just run it direct from the canner in there. And it should be okay. We'll try it. All right, 180, let's see if this will work. Shut the fire off. Here we go. Yep, it's just gonna be slow. It's going, it's just pretty slow. But the smell that comes out of these barrels when you're putting hot maple syrup in them is amazing, by the way. This will take a couple minutes, but it's easier than getting the... Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get the filter press dirty anyways, because when I open that 55, I'm just gonna put my pump out pipe down in it, so I'm gonna have to use the pump on the filter press anyways, so... Oh well, this will work. So that was taking far too long. So I got the filter press out. My compressor, I've been using it for doing some other projects, so I pulled it out where it normally is, so it's in the sugar house right now, so it's really loud. But I'll pump this off in no time because I'm not sitting here waiting on gravity. That was painful. That one's empty. Now number 2. I guess I can't do that one-handed. All right, this one's up to 180, so I'll shut the gas off. I'm just gonna give it a quick stir. Generally when you stir it, it comes up a degree, maybe a degree and a half, and that's just because of the way that the heat is in that. So we'll open this up. And in the barrel it goes. Like always, our barrels come from New England Distilling in Portland. This one was a bourbon barrel, so it's 53 gallons. This one will sit for 6 months. Be ready right about mid-November. This one will be ready, just in time for the holidays. So I just emptied that 40-gallon barrel. I'm gonna need about another 15-ish, 13 gallons really is what it is, but I'll put a little bit more in. So that's another canner filled up. Well, I guess finisher filled up. But what I'm gonna do is, to make it easier so that I don't have not enough or too much, this last little bit here, I'll finish heating that up, put that in, then I can just fill it one more time, and then I know I've got just about perfect on the amount that I need, rather than filling this up and having to guess what another 10 gallons or so is. So we'll make. So I just put my barrel pump out pipe in, and now I'm just using the filter press. It draws it right out, pumps it right into the finisher. It does a pretty good job. And there's the compressor. So it does a good job pumping this out. It doesn't like to pump cold syrup though, so if I've had a barrel in the sugar house for a while that's real cold, say, 20 degrees, it doesn't pump that. But warm syrup, it pumps it pretty good right out of the barrel. So get this filled up. It'll be right about the 13 gallons it should be to fill this. I'll put a little bit more in, that way I know I've got enough, and then I'll just pump this right back into that barrel, close it up, and then we get on to the next project today. I got all that wood down in that old steam hood I have, and it's really amazing how much it opens this place up now, and it makes the sugar house look a lot bigger. So now there'll just be a couple steam pipes that go up, and that'll actually, I may even slide the evaporator over because I'm gonna be able to center it now. I don't put the four-wheeler in here, but this place looks a lot bigger now. I just gotta get some boards and finish this so that wrap up this project. So I got a little bit of time left before I gotta make dinner. I already picked the kids up. So I think I'm gonna go and kill a couple trees because the firewood pile is not gonna fill itself. So I'll get changed. I gotta throw a rope up over it so I can pull it with the tractor, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm not planning on climbing any today, just having to pull them over. So I got the rope that I used to pull in the trees with, the orange one, and then I got my throw line bag. So I'm gonna see if I can get a rope up over this thing before I get everything out. If I can't get a rope over it, then I can't cut it because I'm not climbing it today. We'll just do this. So I want to get a rope up over that branch right there. It's probably like a 8-inch branch, 6-inch branch. My goal is to get a rope over that one that I can pull this thing where I want it. So I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll find out. Got it. Now I gotta pull the rope over. So I just do a girth hitch, just fold it over on itself, and then a couple half hitches, and that should be enough to get this thing to come off over. But we'll find out, because it is on a limb that is a little bit higher up. Well, it's not the one I really wanted, but it should work. So we'll see if it can get it. I got that rope up over it, but it was hell on my hands on the throw line trying to drag it up over because the weight's in that tree. So I'll get the throw line put away because that makes the biggest mess if you kick the pile over, and then I'll tie that thing so that I can get it how I want it, and I can pull this tree over. I think I'm going behind me, but maybe down that way. I don't know, the tree's pretty big. Now I gotta try and get this rope to come around so I can get it around the right way of the tree. So I just tie a bowl in to make a loop. That way it's around it, and then pull it up. Now this thing's got more top that goes off to that. It goes off to this side here, more top. So that's gonna be hard. I've got a small gap here. There's just a couple ash trees here that I don't really care about, but there's a little maple there, and some more over here. So I wanna try and protect those. So what I'm gonna do is try and aim for these ash trees. I'll put my snatch block on there, and then go up to the tractor up here, so that the tractor's out of the way. So we'll see how it works. There, that cable's all hooked up now. I'll put on my assless chaps and we'll notch this thing. Guess I had more forward lean on it, or more tension on the cable than I thought, because it went without even having to go pull on it, so I couldn't get a good shot at it coming down, but it landed pretty much just where I wanted it. Hit the top of that maple right there a little bit, but not enough to do anything, and it missed the one over here. That's a decent tree. Now I'll get this cleaned up, but I gotta get my Mingo so I can mark this. There, that one's down. It's just the top left to clean up. There's a bunch of round wood in that I've kind of got to pick through when I do the brush. But I'm gonna wait and probably do that when I burn my brush pile. That way I could just take the brush, throw it right on there and be done with it all at once without having to pick through it. So that opens up around that maple a little bit more and some young stock. But more importantly, it's firewood right now. So I got that tree down. I was gonna cut down 1 or 2 more and just get them down, but I ran out of time. Aaron's out with friends from work tonight, so I've got to feed the kids. So rather than listen to them complain that they haven't been fed, I should probably get that done. So see you in the next one.